Welcome to the Savvy Ventures Show, connecting you with noteworthy industry changemakers, movers, shakers, and innovators from around the world. From CEOs, executives, and other titans of industry to entrepreneurs, inventors, professional athletes, authors, chefs, and other thought leaders. You'll hear from power players across industries, here to inform, enlighten, and entertain. All of this, plus travel and shopping, hot picks, and so much more. And now, here's your host, Merilee Kern.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Savvy Ventures, where we connect with high-powered experts across all categories, here to share their insights and inspirations. This show highlights remarkable people and businesses throughout America and beyond, with a deeper dive into the brilliant minds behind the brands. Plus, for Savvy Shopping, we also showcase hot gifts and gets, and for those out there with wanderlust, we spotlight trending travel and dreamy destinations perfect for those itineraries ahead. I'm marketplace trends expert Merilee Kern, and today's show is another great one. Coming up, we'll be connecting with former NFL pro Corey Lewis regarding his mental health and wellness app and platform. Plus, we'll be hearing from a business and career coach and mentor, helping others live both their personal and professional lives with purpose. And for you singles out there, we have a matchmaker joining us to detail some tips and trends for those looking for their perfect match. And finally, for both business and leisure travel, we'll be learning about some amazing travel options on the Bahamian island of Eleuthera that are perfect for those with their sights set on the Caribbean. A ton of great stuff to get to today, so let's get to it. Joining us today are former NFL pro Corey Lewis, along with Columbia University alum T. Drew, who are the co-founders of One and One, which is an inclusive mental health and wellness platform. Their digital media and technology company curates and customizes content, tools, and products to inform, guide, and empower its community with the focus on the underserved to reach their goals. Their app features AI-driven technology that helps people build better habits and achieve their goals through small incremental actions that lead to big results, prioritizing their health and getting 1% better each day. Towards this end, they just launched the More Life in Summer Club in New York City, which is a group fitness event series designed to unite inclusive community through mindfulness, movement, and connection. And they're here to tell us all about the great work they're doing. Hi, Corey and T. Drew. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
So first, I know you're on a mission to break the stigma around men's mental health, working to really normalize these conversations for men and for Black, Indigenous, and people of color and those communities at large. So tell us what's motivating this work.
It's work that's needed for the Black community specifically, and I don't like speaking for other communities. I just try to speak about the community that I know and love that we come from. Mental health is very taboo. It's something that isn't really talked about in families and specifically with men. So the best thing that you can do to end the stigma or to break the stigma is to talk about it and make sure that men specifically know that asking for help, being open, being in tune with their emotions and their self-awareness is a sign of strength and not a sign of weakness. And hopefully through our mental health podcasts and other parts of our platform, we're able to break that stigma.
And are you finding that there's more of a need for this kind of dialogue? I mean, aside from the fact that there has always been a stigma and people have kind of historically been uncomfortable talking about it, do you feel like there's just sort of an escalating need to actually have this conversation?
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's a need just because, as T. Drew alluded to, I just feel like it's, really something that's not talked about enough. And that's why for T. Drew and I, speaking as two Black men ourselves and understanding the importance of vulnerability and not being too prideful, holding all your emotions in, not connecting with others to express and communicate what you may be dealing with, really creates a hindrance, especially when you think about men's mental health and men being more likely to commit suicide than women. I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact that we're taught to be strong, be super prideful, be alpha, right? And that's okay. But at the same time, it's not okay to not be okay every single day and hold it all in. So I think having the conversation, what we would like to see is just enabling more men, more Black men. And of course, we want to speak to women too. Mental health is important for everybody. But when I just think about men specifically and speaking from relatability, I think opening the door for the conversation is important for us, just so people can feel more comfortable to talk about it and take the necessary actions to deal with it.
And I know you're both fitness enthusiasts, and Corey, you're a former professional football player, as I mentioned in the intro. So how did you two meet, and what actually prompted you to go into business together and create One in One?
Yeah, so we're based in New York City. Corey's actually from Brooklyn originally, and I'm from Michigan. So it was really kismet, honestly. I moved out to New York to start grad school in 2015. When I moved out to New York to start grad school, Corey had just decided to end his professional football career because of injuries. And so we both were kind of at an important life crossroads at the same time. He was ending a career that he gave his whole life to and was figuring out how to start a new one. And I just ended my college basketball career and was focusing on business and entrepreneurship in the second phase of my life. And so we met at a nightclub in New York City, and it was essentially right before I started grad school. It was this time in 2015, September, so 8 years ago. And we saw each other, and it was just the quintessential, like, hey, you're tall and Black and cool, and you got a good vibe to you, so what's up? And then that very quickly turned into us learning more about each other. And the grad school that I went to, Columbia, his uncle and father figure had went there, did a commencement speech there. The university was important to Corey's family dynamic. We connected on that immediately. And then a couple of days later, we were on like a 3 or 4 hour FaceTime talking about our first business idea. And we've been, business partners and best friends since. But I think the most important part of that is even before we thought about the business idea, we connected from who we were as men and our character. So pretty quickly, I realized that Corey had a passion for helping other people. Just like me, he had a passion for helping people, become better. But we both were very passionate about entrepreneurship, and we had a level of grit and determination that we didn't really see in anybody else besides ourselves. And so that kind of told us that if we do something together, we can definitely go higher and further than if we, do our own thing.
Yeah. And I love that serendipity moment where you both happen to be at the same place at the same time. There's so much synergy between how you both are personally and your personality traits, plus the Columbia tie-ins. So like you say, it's almost like it was literally meant to be for you guys to find each other and connect. So, all right, let's break things down a little bit with some tactical strategies. So can you share some actual tips with our listeners that can help them prioritize their mental health and even fitness in their own lives?
Yeah, well, I can just start by personal experience, and then I can pass it to Corey as the coach. I mean, he's the way that we kind of break our partnership and relationship. Corey has helped individuals do this in countless different ways. I just come from a place of personal experience. I think the biggest thing for me is self-awareness, and it's knowing how to slow down and speed up. So when you think about mental health, if you're feeling bad, if you're feeling down, you first need to audit your environment around you. So if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling dreary, you need to go back to what, I call the core four. One is, are you getting enough sleep? And are you nourishing yourself? Another one is look at who you have around you. Who are the people that are around you? Are they feeding you positive energy? Are they feeding you negative energy? Are you moving? Are you getting sunlight? Do you have a movement practice? You don't have to be like me and go to the gym for 2 hours, but are you going outside? Are you walking? Are you moving? And my favorite and the one that's done the most for me is your positive self-talk. So for every negative thought I have, I always reinforce it with at least 5 positive thoughts. And this is like a training mechanism that is rooted in cognitive behavioral therapy to reshape and reframe my mind. And so I always go back to those 4 things whenever I'm feeling down, sad, if I feel weird. And I feel like people forget to look around them, look inside, and try to find out what's going on there so they can fix how they feel. So that would be my take.
I love that. And you can't overstate the effect that just your lifestyle. And as you say, something like sunlight, just these small changes can really have that huge impact. And most importantly, that negative self-talk, you're kind of on that mental hamster wheel and you can just really get stuck in it. I mean, we've all been there. And I like that, you're not just doing a one-in-one swap, like replace, like you're overloading it with positive, 5 positive thoughts for every negative thought. So that's got to be a
Well,
hugely powerful strategy.
yeah, thoughts become things, and I live by that. So if you can choose to think about the positive, you can root out the negative.
Yeah. Corey, how about you? Is there like one particular top line strategy you would recommend?
Yeah, so everything we do at One and One, we base it on the 7 dimensions of wellness. That's financial wellness, spiritual wellness, physical wellness, mental wellness, social wellness, intellectual wellness, and environmental wellness. And the reason why we do that is because the wellness journey for everyone is different. There's no one size fits all approach when it comes to overall wellness. Some people, if they're not where they need to be financially, it's hard for them to get to where they need to be mentally. And then when it's hard to get to where you need to be mentally, it's hard to get to where you need to be physically. So for us, we try to meet you where you're at in your journey. And we try to dissect and figure out, okay, if you're not where you need to be financially and that's impacting the rest of your wellness experience, so what can we do to get you into a financially stable place, which will ultimately enable you to have better mental health, which will ultimately enable you to maybe start going to the gym and partake in more physical activity. So that's why for me as a coach, I feel like much more than a personal trainer, I'm also a life coach for a lot of people, just because I have to really figure out what's holding people back from wanting to better themselves. Exercise and fitness is more than the way you look. It's about, putting yourself in position to live longer, feel better, move better, and so many other things, right? So why do so many people have such a problem with doing what it takes to reap those benefits? It's because of some sort of mental block that they may be dealing with. And it's my job, our job as a company, to try to help you figure that out and then customize and personalize the journey for them. And, the way to do that is there's some, taking and learning from what Tidra said, just having self-awareness and, identifying what those issues and roadblocks are and breaking those barriers down. Because exercise, you don't need to go to the gym for an hour every single day just to get in shape. You can start with 10 minutes every day. I'd rather you go 10 minutes every day than 0 times per week, right? So showing up, just getting going and building that habit over time, little by little, is going to accumulate, interest over time. I look at personal wellness as just like a 401k. Whatever you got to put in every month, that's just going to create compound interest over time. It's going to be a personal investment into yourself so when you're older, you're going to be able to reap the benefits of all those investments that you put into your personal 401k, into your wellness 401k over time. So when you're 40, 50, however many years old, and you look at that personal 401k, that wellness 401k, you're like, oh, wow, I feel great. And you're still moving great and feeling great. And your mental health and physical health is where it needs to be. You're going to realize that, wow, all that time I put in over the years, it's going to really show and display itself. You don't want to be in your 60s and 70s not feeling your best self. And that's why it's super important to just take the necessary daily steps every day, whatever time that looks like for you, and, attack that head on. And everybody's approach is different, and that's okay. It's about identifying what that is in order to get over those necessary roadblocks to be your best self.
And I love that 401k metaphor is really so powerful and puts it into a perfect perspective. All those pennies matter and they add up. So, no one would throw money away. It's like, so if it is that 10 minutes at the gym versus an hour, it still has value. So I love that yours is this sort of interconnected, holistic life approach. It's not any one thing that's going to help you. It's this kind of balance and interconnectedness, of all these facets of your lifestyle. I love it. So, all right, what other resources can you guys tell us about? And in fact, I understand you guys have your own really great podcast out there. So tell us about that.
It's very important that to our audience and our community, we allow these things to be accessible. So specifically for mental health, our mental health podcast is a great resource because you not only are able to listen to stories from entrepreneurs, athletes, notable people that open up and share so you can feel like you're not alone, but you also get free frameworks and free help from therapists, doctors, psychologists. So whether you're looking for an episode on how to deal with someone narcissistic, or you're looking for an episode on how to deal with your anxiety, there's something on our podcast for you. We have, 100 episodes and, 3 seasons and really proud of that. So that's a great mental health resource that we have. Also, our free newsletter that you can sign up for at our website, oneandonelife.com, the number one and1life.com. It's a free newsletter where our experts give expert advice and we give inspiring personal stories. We send that out twice a week. And it's not only resources in the newsletter, but it's also resources you can find at the footer of every newsletter. So, whether you're a person of color and you need direct support, or whether you're LGBTQ plus and you need support, we have those resources there for you. And these things are free. And lastly, we're obviously very, very passionate about good habits. Your habits are who you are. One of our favorite quotes, Corey and I, we always say, show us your habits, we'll show you your future. And that's what our app does. So our app is the technology side of our business, and it helps you build healthy habits within the 7 dimensions of wellness. So you go on the app, it helps you identify which dimension that you want to focus on, that you want to start with. It helps you set a goal, and then you have your first habit within the app in under 2 minutes. And you're able to see that habit, you're able to journal, you're able to reflect. And then there's also a full content library within the app that you can tag and search with tons of free resources. So our app is free as well. That's in the App Store, the One and One app. And so all these things kind of create our community. And, we feel that whatever you need within your wellness journey, you can come to us and you can find something to benefit you.
And I love that you're offering that app for free. And as you say, it's not just for men. Women can find value in it as well, yes?
Oh, 100%. The thing about the app is that, and our company, it's very important to note, while obviously Corey and I are founders of color, and there is a really big discrepancy in BIPOC communities, and there's a lack of wellness resources there. What we do is for all people. And so the beauty of our app is that it's created for personalization. So even right when you go into the app, we ask you a few questions to understand how you identify, where you are in life stage. So what the app suggests to you and how the app helps you is tailored to you. So if you identify that, you are in the life stage of a parent, or if you're in the life stage of a student, the app is going to take note of that, and it's going to help you and give you the right suggestions over time. And it's very important to us. It's way better than saying, hey, what's your job? It's not about your job. It's about the stage that you are in life, because our goal with the app is to make you 1% better each day through the power of habit and actually help you reach goals. But your self-actualization path is continuous. So your goals and where you are on the 7 dimensions of wellness in one life stage may be completely different when you get to a later life stage. And so that's what the app tries to do. So it's customizable, and it truly fits what's important to us. And it's what Corey said earlier. We're trying to meet you where you are. And wellness is not a one-size-fits-all experience. So we couldn't create an app that was only for one type of person.
And I love it. And you make it so accessible. You're only, 1% better every day. That sounds achievable. That sounds realistic. It's not overwhelming. You're only advocating just get in the game however you can. You don't have to commit to an hour a day, 4 days a week at the gym. So I just feel like this is, first of all, it's free as well. Just this is an app that really everybody should have. We all have hard times and challenges and difficulties. So it just sounds like a really, really great tool. And you guys are doing really amazing work around an issue that just affects all of us seemingly with, an increasing rate these days. So thank you guys for coming on the show and sharing about it today.
Thanks, Merilee. We really appreciate you having us, and thanks for the kind words. And it's stuff that allows us to really keep going and try to help people become 1% better together. So appreciate it.
And again, to learn more about this mental health platform, just visit oneandonelife.com. Okay, everyone, don't go away, because on the other side of this short break, we'll be connecting with an inspirational career coach and mentor. So stay tuned.
What is going on, Merilee? It is Richard Blaze from assorted different food shows that hopefully you've seen, including, I hope, Next Level Chef. You are known to be incredibly savvy, especially with wining, dining, and travel, and sharing those experiences with others. And Merilee, what a amazing thing that you get to inspire so many people, including myself today. Stay hungry, as in driven, like you obviously are. Merilee, you got some friends that love you so much. Can't wait to see you soon.
Over 50 million in prizes paid, more than 4 million pounds lost.
I'm global health and fitness expert Jillian Michaels, and I love Healthy Wager. It's a great way to lose weight by motivating you with big cash prizes. Get paid in real cash up to $10,000. Diets alone don't keep most people motivated, but with Healthy Wager participants, they often lose 30, 50, 100 pounds or more. Healthy Wager is the ultimate solution.
Welcome back to the Savvy Ventures Show with Merilee Kern.
Hello and welcome back to Savvy Ventures, where it's all about gaining fresh knowledge and inspiration to help us live successful and enriched lives. And on that note, up next is a really interesting guest who's helping others reach their goals. Joining us today is Jacqueline Strominger, who's CEO and founder of Leap to Your Success. Her life's work is coaching and mentoring others to live both their personal and professional lives with purpose. She's helping others forge their paths ahead with inner and outer confidence, strength, and overall personal development as a driving force. After taking a leap and leaving her own successful corporate career and finding success as an entrepreneur, Jacqueline has since made it her mission to help others find the right fit in their own careers or side businesses and create dream lives. She's here with us today to share a bit about her strategies, and I can't wait to hear all about it. Hey, Jacqueline, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on, Merilee. I really, really appreciate being here.
So I know that through mentoring, you help others develop the confidence and strength to be an entrepreneur or to break into a new career role. So what actually led you to this type of work, really going from a dissatisfied magazine publisher of 20 years to pursuing various entrepreneurial endeavors of your own to now mentoring men and women on how to find and monetize their passions?
So what led me to this is it's taken me a little bit of a pathway to get here. But when I first graduated college, I went to an amazing university, got my dream job in magazine publishing, but there was something missing. Like I always felt I was trying to find that, say, mentor, but like the great manager who is going to help me throughout my career. It's, you take the Dale Carnegie courses and it's like, what are managers supposed to do? They're supposed to actually train their people to replace them. It's, it's the mentality of so many managers have that scarcity mentality versus abundance. So I felt like I was always grappling for that. I did really well in magazine publishing, great career. But then felt like I needed to do something more, had changed different professions, within the field of magazine publishing, and ended up finding entrepreneurship through network marketing. And I loved it. Because network marketing and direct sales is really, personal development wrapped around a product. And it really got me into seeing and helping other people. And this was filling my cup. And it was getting to the point where I actually almost didn't care about the sales. I just love helping and supporting my team members. And I had more people that were saying to me, you're the first person who's believed in me. You are helping me grow. I have people that came to me and said, because of you and because of what we did, I was able to have the confidence to sit at, the table at my company, and I got a promotion because I found my voice. And I kept thinking, there's got to be something more to helping people than doing it a little bit in direct sales. I want to do it bigger. I want to help more people. So this is what I decided. I really want to help more people. And that's why I decided I'm opening up Leap to Your Success, because I know that I can help people find that inner voice to help them grow inside and out and help them flourish. I feel like there's so many things that we have in our world today. And I think there's like lots of different ways that I could, tangents to go off on that. But that we're limiting people's ability to understand that we have to take steps. There are setbacks, but we need to grow. And we need to find our passions. It's not, and everybody's passion may not be going to college or, following a set course, but we have to find out what that is within ourselves. And I love helping people do that.
Well, and I love that through other intentions and channels and means, you kind of realized you had this superpower and then kind of bottled it and are now offering it. And in fact, I know you have something called the LEAP process, which is your proven success strategy. So tell us a bit about that.
So the LEAP process, really, we start off, LEAP is really leveling up and leveraging our internal vision and finding out what that is. And then once we figure that out, we find out how we want to elevate and look at our core, because our core values really drive what is going to fulfill our passions and what we're doing. And then we create an action plan around what these are, and then we start propelling forward. And it's the vision and the execution with our core values that helps us find that passion so that we can thrive.
And, there's always that leap of faith that you have to take. It's just sort of inherent, whether you're switching careers, you're getting out of an industry, you're following a passion. So what have been some of your own greatest leaps, both relative to risk and reward, really?
Okay. So people think I'm a little crazy because I do things like I have done things where people are they're flabbergasted. So one of my crazy leaps was actually leaving a very successful career and in magazine publishing and in sales, to the point where I picked up the phone one day and called the CEO of the company and said, I quit. And then I called my husband. And then I was like, I will figure this out. I know I can do it. And people are like, why did you do that? And I'm like, because at the end of the day, I was not living in integrity with myself, and going through the motions is not who I am. So that was one kind of a crazy thing. One other crazy thing was we used to live in Massachusetts. We had people would, if you look at us, we had this perfect life. My husband's a physician. We had a place up in New Hampshire. We had a great circle of friends, but something wasn't right. I could feel it. My kids were younger. I mean, I've got a teenager who's going to be graduating this year and flying the nest, and I have a sophomore. So, this is 5 years ago. So we're in the thick of things. And I just knew something wasn't right. There was an opportunity for us to move west where I knew nobody, like zilch. And we came out to Reno, Nevada, checked it out, I'm like, we're going to move. And within 6 weeks, maybe 8, I had us out, packed up, and my kids in a new school.
Wow. And, I mean, that's guts. Yeah.
And here I am, I have a business and I know nobody, and I have to really start over and rebuild. I mean, I had a team from where I was back east, but I knew nobody here, knew absolutely nobody. And people just, would say to me, like, you came in here with like a force. Like you knew what you wanted to do, and you started to know more people than people who've lived here for their life, So, and it all came from having a big vision for my family and knowing what that was and knowing that there was something better, and then painting the picture also for my family, because it's scary to move across the country and not know anybody. And it's one of the things that I feel that I still do with my kids each day, like driving my son, to school this morning. I'm like, he has a little bit of a setback with where he wants to play basketball. And I said, well, so what is this going to, where are you going to take this? And how do you think of this? And he's like, this is like my Michael Jordan moment, because he had some feedback from the coach. He's like, this is my Michael Jordan moment. I have to, and I said, okay, so let's paint your vision. What do you want to do? What are your action plans to get you to this next level? So they understand it's a great way to start painting a vision for your life, even small bits. So that was two of my crazy leaps, I guess you could say, and how it kind of works.
Well, and that's great. So often people become comfortable and complacent, and sometimes to hit that next level, to level up, whether it's career or personal, you have to kind of force yourself off the hamster wheel and do something that's just so against type and maybe even a little bit counterintuitive, but shaking things up, can really just have a significant result, hopefully for the better. There's always work involved, and there's certainly challenges, but you got to get off that hamster wheel sometimes. And really, to that point, why do you think so many people really become stagnant, and how do you get your clients unstuck from that mode?
So I'm so glad that you brought this up, because I am actually dealing this with one of my clients right now. He's in a business. It's a great business, actually, but you can see his lackluster drive and thriving for the business. He's kind of like going through the motions. And what I think happens is that, just what you said, we get on this hamster wheel of life and we start going through, the day-to-day things, and we start to lose sight of what our goals and our visions are. And whether it's the entrepreneur that I'm now coaching to elevate him back up, to create that newer vision and to create that excitement again, whether it's your business or in your personal life, we have to take step back, look back, that's really horrible English on my part, but we have to take a step back and really look at ourselves and see what we want. And we have to find a way to not lose sight of what our visions and goals are, so that we don't get on that hamster wheel. And so one of the things that I like to do with my clients is that we do look at their vision, and we look at their dreams, and we look at what they're doing every day to reach those dreams, so that those dreams have goals. Because as we know, a dream without a goal and an action plan, it's just a dream. It's out there. So we want to make those dreams come into reality, so it can become that goal to be working towards. So one of the things that I tell people is, and I work with my clients on, let's create the vision that you have for your business and your career and your life. And we work with those in tandem. And then we create a monthly plan and that aligns with a weekly and a daily action plan as to where it's going to go. It's not easy. I mean, it sounds easier. People are like, oh, I can do that. But when you're really looking at what's showing up on your calendar, or is what's showing up on your calendar really aligned with what those goals are? Because they really need to be in sync. And that's also teaching my clients where they need to say no. And that sometimes is also really hard, because we want to say yes to so many things. But if it's not in alignment, then we become out of alignment. So that's one of the biggest things that I really do. It starts with our vision.
So I understand that you have a special offer for our audience. So by all means, tell us about that.
So I love helping people. So for your audience and for everybody, I have a free strategy session. So it's 60 minutes or could be a little bit longer, of helping you figure out, whether it's a strategy for your passion, helping you recreate some vision. And it's, I love being able to help people do that. So.
Well, that's a very cool and really very generous offer. So that's great. I'm sure a bunch of folks will take you up on that. And really just the work that you're doing overall to help people become more fulfilled in their lives is such a great lane to be in. What a great career path that you have. So thanks for coming on the show to share about it today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
And again, those wanting to learn more about Jacqueline and her strategies and take advantage of that special offer, just go to leaptoyoursuccess.com. Okay, let's switch gears a bit from business and career matchmaking to making the right connection in the romance department. Joining us now is Jacqueline Fay, a celebrity and millionaire matchmaker whose company, the IDL Diamond Club, was recently voted one of the top matchmaking agencies for successful singles. Today, she's here to share some tips and trends. Hey, Jacqueline, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
All right, so dating dynamics and tools and resources, they do ebb and flow over time. So what are some of the hot trends for singles right now?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of hot trends going on that have to do with authenticity. So I feel like in the past, like the whole pickup artist was kind of hot and people were pretending to be something that they weren't. And that wasn't really working out. So I think that people are now being more of their authentic self. And I also feel like a lot of people don't want a pen pal. I think they're getting sick of the dating apps. They don't want to chat back and forth, and they're being more mindful with their dating.
And I know you also speak about realigning values in addition to that whole authenticity platform, which I just think is such an important point. But what do you mean exactly by realigning your values as it relates to singles?
Sure. So I always have my clients like put their top 8 values that they're looking for in a partner. And your values can be things like, the same religious views or spiritual views. Your values can be like if you both want children. If one person doesn't want children, that value is not going to align. Even political values, so you put them in order. And then, of course, like the things that are really important to you is loyalty important? Is that a value that's really important? Is monogamy important? Like, so you put them in your top 8 and then you can kind of restructure them, because a lot of people put like attraction as their number one value. And that's really not going to lead to a lasting relationship. It might lead to some great sex, but probably not a lasting relationship.
So how do you sort of get past, I mean, especially for those people on the apps where you say attraction is sort of like that initial deal breaker or not? How do you kind of get past, well, that photo may or may not be working for me, but gosh, all these other things with respect to my values seem to be lining up. I mean, how can folks kind of navigate that? Do you just sort of advocate they're taking a leap of faith?
Yeah, I think people are looking and making sure a little bit more than maybe they used to. I know too, and a lot of women sometimes would just look at the income and be like, oh, okay, does he make X amount? Then I guess I'll date him. And I just think that that's not working either. So, I think, and I encourage my own clients when I'm matching them, they'll be like, oh, I don't like her picture. Nah, he's not 6'2". And it's like, okay, well, who is? But so I try to encourage my clients, like, look past that, because a great connection isn't based on being 6'2" or having blue eyes. And so I think a lot of people are actually being more mindful on the apps and going a little bit further and making sure that, it aligns deeper, because, if you're very strong about something and the other person is very strong in another way about the opposite of that, it's not going to work.
Yeah. And I think it's so timely, especially in this post-COVID era where, some people were stuck with their loved ones, in their house for upwards of a year. I mean, having that connection and having, a more deeper seated relationship beyond just that physical attraction is just so much more important, I think, these days. And that whole COVID scenario really put that in context. So how about just, you kind of alluded to it, but our expectations, sometimes those expectations of love kind of get in the way. And so is that a self-sabotaging mindset? Because, love doesn't always come in the package that we hope or think that it will.
Yeah, I definitely think it is self-sabotage. And I've seen so many clients, both male and female, miss out on a great match because it's not exactly what they had in their mind of what the perfect match should be. So I think that, you can definitely sabotage your relationships. And then I think a lot of times people get stuck in patterns where they keep dating the same type of people over and over again, because they're comfortable with that, but it doesn't work. It's like, I hear this all the time. He's not my type, or she's not my type. And so they're so fixated on this ridiculousness of, okay, she has to have brown hair and blue eyes and blah, blah, blah. And if she doesn't, then I'm not interested. And they really sabotage a relationship with someone who might be blonde, or, who might be a little bit different. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's so funny. I feel like some portion of your job, besides the matchmaking, is a little bit of psychological counseling, helping folks kind of see beyond, these labels and expectations that they created. So you're sort of like half matchmaker, sort of half therapist sometimes, I would imagine. Totally. Speaking of that, I do want to learn more about your firm and really what makes it distinctive in a marketplace that's getting just increasingly crowded, it seems, with resources that are more focused on successful singles or, professionals and that kind of thing. So what makes your agency so different?
Yeah, so we have our Diamond Club, which is like our high-end matchmaking agency. And what we do that's a little bit different than other agencies is we do match based on values. So it's not just, oh, he's rich, she's pretty, let's put them together. We go deeper. We background check everybody, male and female. And then we do some interesting things, like we throw luxury singles events for our members. So for instance, we have like a yacht party coming up where it's just like going to like a cocktail party, but everybody at the party happens to be single. Or we have like a holiday red carpet event that we're going to be doing in Delray Beach, where, it's a bunch of people there, but they're all single. So it's a great way for our members to connect besides just doing the one-on-one matchmaking. And then we actually started something new, which is kind of cool and keeping me super busy, is we have something called a destination casting. So we have clients that are all over the United States. So like last weekend, I went to Columbus, Ohio, and we set up an office there. We set up a bunch of interviews, and we had a client. We actually have like 3 clients in Ohio. And so we met with a bunch of women there. And it's a great way for us to actually meet people in different parts of the United States. So we're going to Denver next month. We're going to go to Rochester, New York, like random places, but it's definitely cool. And then, sometimes you think always that your relationship is going to be with somebody in your backyard, but it's not. I've had marriages where the guy was in LA and the woman was in London, and they're still together, been together for 5 years. So it's like, sometimes your partner might be someplace else.
Your job is just so cool. And, what's better than helping people find love and meaning in their life? So I just think it's a wonderful service that you provide. So thanks for coming on the show to share about it with us today.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me.
And to learn more about Jacqueline and her services, just go to idldiamondclub.com. Okay, everybody, stick around because after this quick break, we're talking international travel, so don't go away.
Hey Merilee, it's Brooke Burke. I'm checking in with you. I'm on location. Look at this beautiful destination. I had to share it with you because I know you're all about savvy living and staying fit and living your best life. I love what you're doing for everyone. Your gift ideas are so helpful and your destination recommendations, amazing. I thought you'd really, really love this. I'm sending you so much love from the DR. Wish you were here. Let's stay connected and keep doing it. It's great stuff. Bye, Merilee.
New Salonpas Lidocaine Flex. Maximum OTC strength. Super thin. Flexible. Contours to the body. So it really, really sticks. Salonpas. It's good medicine.
Welcome back to the Savvy Ventures Show with Merilee Kern.
Hello and welcome back to Savvy Ventures, where we not only chat with power player experts and celebrities, but we also showcase fabulous travel destinations. And as always, I have great ideas for you. So buckle up and away we go. To relax, explore, and enjoy, consider Yellowbird House, a 9-bedroom treasure in the beautiful Bahamian island of Eleuthera. This lush 2.3-acre ocean view property is nestled between a 20-acre pond and a beautiful private pink sand beach. With a main house boasting 8,400 square feet, there are 4 en-suite bedrooms plus a separate master suite with private entrance. The chef-inspired kitchen features a custom rock wall, large island, gas range, double oven, and a wide array of cooking tools. Its spacious living room with bar which has soaring 28-foot ceilings, is a cozy communal space perfect for family game night, conversations, or a sunset cocktail that can also be viewed from the large attached pergola overlooking the heated infinity pool and private beach. The detached 2,200 square foot guest casita also overlooks the pool and has a large living space and eat-in kitchen. It has 3 ensuite bedrooms as well as an additional bunk room with top twin bunks and bottom full and double bunks, as well as a full bathroom. Rounding out the incredible lot is a large covered cabana, affectionately known as the office, that faces the private beach. It also showcases the spectacular sunsets from the pond side of the property. Yellowbird comes fully staffed with a cook for breakfast and lunch, housekeeper, and concierge services. While guests pay for their own provisions, grocery stocking is available at no charge. Airport pickup and drop-off is also included with each stay. Learn more and book your visit at eleutheravvacationrentals.net. For those who will be in South Florida late October, should be sure not to miss the 11th annual South Beach Seafood Festival, taking over the sands of South Beach this October 18th through 21st. This Florida Seafood Festival is not your typical East Coast seafood fest, but a curated showcase of the best talents of South Florida's leading chefs and culinary masterminds via a diverse group of events where guests experience the best seafood in Miami and kick off world-renowned stone crab season. Brought to you each year by Breakthrough Beverage and Partners and produced by CI Management, this event is touted by USA Today as one of its top 5 specialty festivals in the country, listed by Forbes in 2019 as top 5 things to do this fall, and cited by the Travel Channel as the best seafood festival in the United States. When you hit Miami in October, the South Beach Seafood Festival is the place to be for 4 days of fun, all to benefit a great cause in Miami-Dade County with CI Foundation's Eat Smart program, an initiative that provides healthy meals and nutritional guidance to Florida's youth with programs in Miami-Dade County public schools. This Saturday, October 21st, Beachfront Seafood Festival, brought to you by Herradura and hosted by the City of Miami Beach, will span 4 blocks and welcomes over 15,000 seafoodies to enjoy a day of fun in the sun. Indulge at hand-selected pop-up cafes for Miami's best restaurants with the freshest seafood menu items to choose from. These are paired with more than 30 complimentary open bars for those 21 and over, as well as fun and games and culinary demos in the Malam's Market Culinary Showcase. There's live music stages and so much more right in the heart of South Beach. A seafood event like no other, South Beach Seafood Festival includes a week of nightly culinary events leading up to the Saturday Epic Daytime event, including an incredible Friday night VIP Chef Showdown, the ultimate night of competition where the best South Beach chefs hit the sand for an epic throwdown beach bash. It'll feature 20 chefs and 10 battles amid 1.5 blocks of this serious culinary celebration on the sand. If you're a seafoodie, be sure to hit Miami this October and experience the best of South Beach Festival extravaganzas. Learn more and buy tickets for the various events at sobeseafoodfest.com. That's SOBE seafoodfest.com. Wow, what a jam-packed show, and I really appreciate that you listened in, everyone. Okay, that's it for this episode of Savvy Ventures. If you missed any part of today's show or just want to listen to any part of it again, just go to savvyventures.tv. You can also connect with me in social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and LinkedIn at Merilee Kern. Until next time, remember that everything begins with an idea.
Thank you for listening to the Savvy Ventures Show with Merilee Kern, connecting you with noteworthy industry changemakers, movers, shakers, and innovators from around the world. Plus, travel and shopping, hot picks, and so much more. Follow us on social at Merilee Kern.